player. This guy has been in limbo, just balling out for the last 2 years. His name has been in trade talks, trade scenarios, and now I believe this year he'll finally be able to escape and join a contender. But he does have a hefty contract, and that is why it's hard for him to be traded, because he is not the same guy that he used to be. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if I wasn't clear enough, it's Eric Gordon, who plays for the Houston Rockets, was a number 3 guy when James Harden and Chris Paul were playing together. He's always been a...
Gordon was sent to New Orleans, and Chris Paul was sent to the Clippers. That's what I meant to say. I don't know why I said they played with each other in New Orleans. They were never on the same floor with each other in New Orleans. Now let's get back to the video.
Not even for some reason, I know the reason, I just stated the reason. It's because his contract is just hard to trade, and you want valuable pieces back for him. You want young pieces, especially the Houston Rockets, because they're a young building team. But, like I said, I believe this is the year that Eric Gordon will be free from purgatory in Houston. Like I said, the Rockets have turned down offers for Gordon at every possible juncture. The draft, the offseason, and the trade deadline. But a resolution to this saga may finally be had this season. See, your boy wasn't wrong. Team and league sources tell The Athletic the Rockets are more inclined to moving the 33-year-old than at any point over the last 2 seasons. The Rockets have come close to moving Gordon a few times in the past. I said all this stuff. I'm just giving you guys the proof. But there are a few layers to this sit-in paradigm shift. From an age perspective, Gordon is clearly on a different timeline than the rest of the roster. If you guys don't know what the Houston Rockets roster consists of, it's a bunch of young guys. Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Kenyon Martin Jr., Alperen Sengun, Ty Washington, Josh Christopher. It's a very young squad. So I don't understand why Gordon's still in the squad, but it's The Athletic gave you all the reasoning right there, so I'm not just talking out my ass. So I conducted some trades, conjured up some trades, and most of these trades have Eric Gordon being sent to a contending team, or a team that's on the cusp of contending. So, first trade, Eric Gordon for De'Anthony Melton, Furkan Korkmaz, Matisse Thybulle, and Gorgeous Niang. Now, that is the first trade with that group. But after I finish this, I'm going to go over another trade that's pretty much involves that group. But let's get into depth on this trade. Eric Gordon, who is making over 19 mil over the next 2 years, is a bucket, averaging over 10 points per game. He's averaged over 13 points these last couple of seasons, and he will give Philly another dynamic guard along with De'Anthony Melton in that backcourt coming off the bench. Yeah, I know. I put De'Anthony Melton in that trade package, but I just didn't realize how much of an impact De'Anthony Melton made to that Sixers squad. I looked at some of the stats. I looked at some of the statistics of De'Anthony Melton on the floor playing for the Sixers when Harden and Maxey were out. He has completely taken up all responsibilities. He's such an Energizer Bunny, man. Gets rebounds, gets assists, plays defense, and can give you buckets. So I'm not going to put him in that trade, but I will put that trade up there to show you guys my original thought, to show you I'm not just like making everything about me and twisting up reality. No, I apologize, my phone died. But like I was saying, Eric Gordon in that backcourt with De'Anthony Melton will fit perfectly. Also, as we all know, Eric Gordon is familiar with playing with James Harden. He understands how that man plays the game and facilitates the offense. So there really won't be any problem with him acclimating his game with James Harden. So let's pull up this next trade. And this trade will send Eric Gordon and Josh Christopher to the Miami Heat for Duncan Robinson, Caleb Martin, and a couple future first-round picks. So Yeah, this trade is huge for the Miami Heat. If you guys don't know this already, if you haven't been watching basketball this season or watching Miami Heat basketball to be more specific, then you're not aware that Duncan Robinson has completely fallen off a cliff. After his first 2 seasons of blowing up the league and being one of the best new shooters that the league has seen in a long time, that completely fell to the wayside. Teams started to understand where his spots were. Teams started to understand his release point, and the man can't play defense. He gets bowled by every possession. So it's just not he's just not an NBA player at this moment. And the Heat need to move on from him and bring in a solid veteran. Losing PJ Tucker, in my opinion, was a huge, huge hit to the Miami Heat. And now he's just on the Philadelphia 76ers playing stagnant, not playing like he played on the Heat, not playing like he played on the Bucks. And that just goes to show, to stray away from my real topic, Doc Rivers is not that guy. And I believe one of my theories is Doc Rivers has been past what I mean by that is his game is a little archaic. The way he coaches is a little archaic, and I don't know if the Sixers will succeed due to him being the head coach. And that's sad to say because Doc Rivers is an amazing head coach, or he has been in the past with those Clippers teams, and obviously those Boston Celtics squads that he won a chip with. But man, it's just things have not been looking good while he's been coaching Philadelphia. And with guys like James Harden, Joel Embiid, and just the surrounding cast, things should be better. And the reason I brought that up was because PJ Tucker was playing way more fluid, getting way more opportunities. His usage rate was way higher than it is on the Philadelphia 76ers. And like I said, that's just due to Doc Rivers coaching. But this move, acquiring Eric Gordon, will be huge for the Miami Heat. They need that extra score off the bench. Tyler Hero's a young guy, and he's very inconsistent. I know he took home Sixth Man of the Year award last season, but he's only dropped 40, I believe, once this season, and he hasn't taken that next step that everyone expected him to. I didn't expect him to do it, but what everyone else expected him to do. Next up, this trade sends Eric Gordon again to the Philadelphia 76ers, along with Bojan Marjanovic, giving the Philadelphia 76ers some size. They're projected to win 2+ more games with this trade. His trade consists of De'Anthony Melton, Furkan Korkmaz, Matisse Thybulle, and Gorgeous Niang. And like I said before, the real trade will not have De'Anthony Melton in it, just because he has been such a huge catalyst to their success, and I would not take him off the roster in any trade scenario. I just did not do the research before making these trades. I did the research, but not the research on De'Anthony Melton, and he has been so huge for them. And last but not least, this is not even last but not least, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I got a lot of more trades. Next trade up. This trade just gives the Philadelphia 76ers another bucket. And I don't know if I really like this trade. I'll bring it up, though. It's James Johnson, Buddy Hield, O'Shea Brissett for Furkan Korkmaz, Daniel House Jr., Matisse Thybulle, De'Anthony Melton, and Jaden Springer. This projects the Pacers to get 2 more wins and Philly to get -2 wins. I forgot that Indiana... I didn't forget, but... Yeah, I did forget. I forgot that Indiana was a playoff team. I know they're kind of on the cusp of being in the playoff play-in and out of everything completely. But I believe with Tyrese Haliburton running the show, Benedict Mathurin, and keeping guys like Buddy Hield, there's rumors that Miles Turner might sign an extension. So I believe they're going to keep this core intact. Also, I did see a post-game locker room kind of group together with the Philadelphia 76ers, like a locker room.
As you guys know, Rick Carlisle is the head coach of the Indiana Pacers, not the Philadelphia 76ers. I don't know why I said Philly. Now let's get back to the video.
To win basketball games, and that's really why I don't want to do that trade, but I'll put the trade up there just because. Next up, Jordan Clarkson from the Utah Jazz to the Philadelphia 76ers for Furkan Korkmaz, Jaden Springer, and Matisse Thybulle, and also a 2024 first round pick. And this is actually the last one. Georges Niang, Furkan Korkmaz, Jaden Springer, and Matisse Thybulle for Rudy Gay, Jordan Clarkson, and the 2026 top 5 protected first round pick from the Utah Jazz. This gives Philly 2 buckets off the bench. Rudy Gay is obviously not in his prime anymore, not anything close to it, but he's a solid spot-up shooter. He plays pretty good defense on the wing and also in the paint. We all know what Jordan Clarkson is. He's an instant cash dispenser. Man gets buckets professionally. So with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the trades that I made up. If not, give me your feedback down below in the comments. With all that being said, hope you guys have a great day. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Deuces.